Okie dokie. Sorry for the delay there, guys. I was trying to... I tried to time making my breakfast in tandem with the stream, but unfortunately, I don't know. It just took longer than I had predicted to cook and eat my breakfast. But, regardless, we got that out of the way, and let's get on with the stream. How's everybody doing today? Hope they're doing well. Okay, so as the title suggests, my weaving and my harvesting are low, obviously in tandem with one another. That makes sense since they rely on each other. So I'm gonna hammer out harvesting. I'm gonna try and get both to over 100, and then we're gonna move on with some questing. Trying to level up more as I'm 47, and I intend to push to 60 as soon as possible. Damn wolf. Give me your hide. Thank you. Okie dokie. Thank you. Okay, so in terms of a good harvesting locale, we'll pick these up. The good locale I'm aware of is over here in this area, like Primrose and the such, because that's the flat fields have the most like hemp and stuff. So I'm just gonna load up on that shit and keep her moving. Hopefully get that harvesting up to a good amount. A good old amount. Okay, just checking something real quick. Okay. I was gonna stream Wrath of the Lich King, but I forgot that they're doing maintenance at 10. So that would have only been an hour-long stream, and obviously I don't want to be restricted to only an hour. So I decided, alright, we'll put it on hold, and I'll play classic Wrath probably later tonight. But just not right now, given the maintenance time restraint. Plus, I still got plenty to do in New World, and I also got to finish playing Prototype. There's a laundry list of things in the works that need addressing. Come here, you damn turkey! Yum yum! Okay. And obviously you've got gifts. Earth Craig. Whoa. One. I'm overzealously wearing a bathrobe, but it's not that cold in here. Not yet, anyway. Alright, where are we? Almost to the fields. Ow! You motherfucker. There we go. Ah, hemp. It's good to see you, old friend. Supply me with your fibers, so that I may reap and sow the benefits of them, in the form of clothing and jewelry, and other assortments of useful things. Seeping stone. Ah, the oil! My inner American can never truly turn my way from the oil. Me some bull rush. And some raids. Oh, when I loaded up the game, there was like a note from the New World devs on the front where they removed a whole ability for muskets because it was apparently it was bugged. I don't know to like the full extent, but I thought that was interesting. They removed a whole ability to fix some bugs with it. Normally the approach is to leave it as long as the bug isn't game breaking. And then, which, to be fair, I don't know the nature of the bug, so it might very well have been a game-breaking bug. But, assuming that it wasn't that bad, normally the approach is to just leave it as is and then quickly fix it in the background and then launch a quick update so the players don't lose a whole ability in the game. So I thought that was a strange choice, but I'd have to look into the nature of that bug a little bit more before I could say confidently, oh my, they went far too far with this. They definitely need to remove that. That was ruining the game. There we are. The plains are also a good hunting spot, I've noticed. And if you're looking for, like, obviously, bison hang out here the most. But if you're also looking for, like, any other, like, variant of, like, rabbits in particular. Like, sometimes town halls have those as, like, requisition-type jobs to hunt rabbits. You definitely got to go to the field to get a good number of them. And they're wily little fuckers. Gifts for the holidays. Speaking of, later today, I intend to go shopping for my family. I don't have a ton of money, but what I have is definitely worth spending on them. As is the nature of the holidays. There we go. Try and get a fly. Ginger poppy. Ah, damn you. You fuckhead! I wanted to collect those, but you took them from me! No! No! They're going for the hemp! Don't do it! No! No! Don't be so greedy! Damn it! The competition is fierce! I intend to take what is rightfully mine! Oh, I thought it was dead for a second there. I was like, oh, free harvesting of bison. Nope. Apparently not. This one is, though. Give me your hide. Ah, here we are. Some more hemp. Supply. Oh. There we go. I canceled for some reason. I hadn't moved yet. I didn't think I had moved. Collect the hemp. We're doing pretty good so far, despite the competition in the area. Who leaves a perfectly good dead turkey unskinned? Naughty, naughty. I say, the criminal nature of that is just absurd. You don't leave it unfettered and unfeathered. That work? I don't know if that works. Give me that hemp, 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 hemp. Mine, 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 mine. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Overall, I'd say New World so far has been kind of a mixed bag for me personally. It's definitely... Alright. So far in the game, I think I wish there was a place I could check other than Steam for my hours, but I'll pull up Steam. So far in the game, let me see here. Alright. So total in New World, I have 69.8 hours. Yes, that's a real number. 69.8 hours in the game. And I'd say it's been fun at times. It's most fun when I play with like Jenny, Lightning, and Bad Gamer, my buds. Like playing with them, especially when we did those dungeon runs, was amazing. But you know, as the old saying goes, is like, if you need the thing is, friends can make, like, tossing a rock into a pile of shit fun. So, the game, if it's not fun on its own outside of playing with friends, is very telling of its quality. And I will say, New World is fun at times when I'm playing by myself, but not widely. It's got a lot of issues with the solo play, and eventually it feels very... repetitive. It feels very boring, played out. I don't know exactly how I want to word that. But the game is definitely a lot less fun when I don't have my friends around to play with. I mean, the questing is... it's completely brain dead after a certain point, and the main story quest just does not draw you in. And I've tried my best to pay attention to it, but it's kind of meh. Like, the writing is nothing impressive or to write home about. But what the game does do amazingly well, even when you're doing solo play, and what does kind of hold up despite how repetitive it is the crafting and gathering system. They very much took inspiration from some of the best survival games out there for their crafting and gathering stuff. Because literally everything in the world nearly is harvestable for resources, and with that you can craft so many things and sell them to the wider player economy as the economy is player run. So that is great. That is amazing. But after a while, it gets really boring. Like, I'd say if that, and so far with that being kind of like the main draw of the game, is kind of that player run economy and having that, you know, harvesting, crafting, gathering, selling, that loop. If that's your main draw, I can't imagine very many people play more than a handful of hours in a row. Unless you're, like, really no life in it, like some of my friends. But eventually it just gets kind of dull. And I'll give them this. They do make, like, seeing this go up feel satisfying. And it's not, like, a complete slog at any point so far. But I do start to feel the drag of it. Now, I will say I've not engaged in enough of the PvP to say maybe that is where I should be focusing some of my energy and getting you know, and more involved in that, and maybe that will make the game feel more like it's asking me to come back via how fun it is. But so far, I'd say once I max out all my crafting and gathering, and I've done all the story quests, I can't think of much that would keep me playing after that. Like, again, the dungeons are fun, especially when you go in with your friends, and you kind of have to. As far as I've seen, there doesn't seem to be a dungeon finder in this game, which I like, but there actually might be, so granted, that might be just me not looking carefully enough at the UI. But yeah, I'd say New World is a mixed bag overall. It's fun for a time, and I'd say if you judge your time, sorry, if you cost your time when it comes to like leisurely activities at like $1 an hour, this game's definitely worth it. But if you consider your time way more worth it than that, I'd say like $10 an hour. This game doesn't reach that point. Like, again, I played for 69 hours. I haven't even hit 100 hours yet. Unless you know, like, some of your friends. Was that a crack? Yes, that was a crack. Hey, Bad Gamer, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Yeah. So New World is definitely a mixed bag overall. I'll say this, it's a very functional game, which is sadly a compliment in the modern gaming sphere, but it's functional. The design is really solid. The art style, it's okay. It's nothing. The art style and the like aesthetic of the game like is good for the first couple hours, and then it really just kind of doesn't impress after that. Really, it doesn't stand out, I should say. I mean, it stands out if we compare it to like old games, but aesthetic is unimportant overall anyway. But yeah, the story is, I won't say completely uninteresting. Like the idea of an island, of this secluded island that is basically the Garden of Eden where no one dies. That's fascinating. It's just, I don't feel like and I've paid attention, like, and I've even gone back in my streams and reread some of the quest texts that I might have been talking over or something. And as far as I've seen, the execution of the really cool idea isn't done very well. And I don't think that's necessarily because the writing's so bad. It's like literally the execution is the problem. It's the way the quests tell the story. It's the way the quests put you through the story and put you through the setting and explain the backdrop and explain the details to you. None of that feels great. And the voice acting and the lines that are voice acted is terrible. It is downright terrible. I think it would have been, some or most of it would have been better if they just didn't get voice actors. Because some of the lines have just been dryly delivered. So, and I don't want to make it sound like I hate the game or anything. It's not, obviously I'm playing it and I've played for 69 hours. I haven't dropped the game or anything. But I would describe my overall experience as the first 5 hours, the first 15 hours is really, really fun. If you like crafting and gathering. If you don't, first 5 hours. First 5 hours is great. What the? Some flashes there. But if you do like crafting and gathering, the first 15 hours, chef's kiss. Very solid. Love it. Because the novelty of being able to collect literally anything you see and craft with it is intoxicating. Because especially if you're used to games like WoW or FF14 where it's a node system, that to be able to harvest literally everything in front of you is a game changer. And the game has such a great design and focus around it, with each one leveling as you do it. Same with combat. Combat is amazing that first 5 to 10 hours because of that novelty of being able to level up each individual skill and have a skill tree with each weapon, and how your attributes affect your effectivity with those weapons. All of that feels great. It starts to fall off at around the 16 to 20 hour mark for me. that's when it starts to get a little repetitive. Like, at that point, you've gotten a taste for all the systems. You kind of, at that point, know how everything feels to do. From the crafting and gathering to the combat, like, it stops having its initial jolt of excitement every time you do it, and it becomes very routine. So, for me, that novelty has definitely run aground. Like, after 69 hours, it's... And again, I don't want to give the impression I hate the game. It's just, would I describe myself as starting to get bored? Yes. And the times I don't feel bored is when me and my friends are playing dungeons, when we're playing together and joking around. But again, that's not really a credit you can give the game. Because you can turn, again, throwing a rock into a cesspool funny and fun and great when you do it with friends. And that's the nature of, like, doing stuff with friends, is that you can turn anything really into an entertaining experience. Even a bad game, which is not a bad game, but if you were playing a bad game, you could turn it into just this fun, great one if you do it with friends. So, yeah, I'd say that this game is great that first 10 to 15 hours. It's great. Especially if you like crafting and gathering. Everything after that starts to slow down. It doesn't get bad. It's not like it's a plateau where it just spikes down. But you start to feel like this steady decline in your enjoyment of the game. And if you play with friends, that decline goes away entirely and, you have fun. But any solo play at all, once you get over, like, the rotation of everything, of crafting, gathering, collecting, 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 blah, 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 blah. It runs aground. So. And to be fair, this game was very much pitched as a PvP-centric game. So the piece of the puzzle I might be missing for that, like, that solid enjoyment, like, play session to play session to play session after the first 15 to 20 hours is probably in that. It's probably in the PvP where a lot of the enjoyment is going to be built around. Now, I still enjoy, like, seeing my crafting and gathering level go up. Like, they do a good job at making that feel satisfying. But once I max out all my crafting and gathering, now as I'm on this decline, what happens then? Like, what happens when I hit the end of the road? I don't know. Once I hit that if I don't do the PvP, or if the PvP doesn't end up being satisfying, once you hit that end of stuff, I don't know. Yeah. But for right now, it's still satisfying and enjoyable enough to crafting and gathering and leveling that and seeing that level go up and the endorphins of success and accomplishment hit my brain. But again, once I max that out, and I max out my level of my character, what is there? There's Party Finder like FF14, but look, if you do everything you want, then step away till new content, that's fine. It's not like you pay a sub. Correct. That is a fair point. You don't pay a sub, which is great. And that's why, again, I said if you value your time at like $1 an hour or like $2 an hour, this game is definitely worth the asking price. But if you value your time at anything more than that, like anything substantially more than that, I don't know if I'd say it is worth it. A lot of it's in the territory struggle. Yep. So, I definitely have to play the PvP before I give any determinations. But as of right now, I'd probably give the game 7 out of 10. Yeah, about 7 out of 10. It nails that first 15 to 20 hours. It has a decline after that, but it's not a steep decline. It's not like the game immediately stops being fun at like the 20-hour mark. It's just as every hour goes on and you continue to do very repetitive tasks, it does start to drag. But I'd say if you have friends to play with that like to do dungeon stuff and like to do group activities, then the game is probably an 8 out of 10. But if you do a substantial amount of solo play, I'd say it's a 7 out of 10. I'm tripping over myself? No, I'm being honest. I'm just trying not to give the wrong impression. Because the thing is, I'm not, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say the game is shit, because it's not shit. It's just, what, you know, what do you want me to do? I don't take this the wrong way, bad gamer, but I don't really care if I offend you with my opinion. But my opinion isn't like a firm one right now. So, suck my dick. Tripping over myself, not to be offensive. You haven't been paying attention at all, have you? Alright. How my inventory looking? Okay, I got plenty of room. Let's find more hemp. Trying to make sure I'm actually scoping out the proper areas here. Yeah, we'll go for the south. Ah, more hemp. And dudes. Hello, Mr. Bison. How was your day? That good, huh? Quit your grumbling. Not like you own the hemp there, mister. Grr. Boo. Yeah, walk away. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fuckhead. They think they own the neighborhood. So full of themselves. Hemp. There you go. Why not get some hide that'll actually fill up my inventory? Maybe he eats it. Well, it's mine. He can eat the grass. Or the less, you know, useful plants. Like a bush. Go eat a bush. Leave my hemp alone. Hemp is how you make shit. It's a crafting material. More hemp. What caveat? The same caveat 5 times. What caveat? Did I clarify it? I hadn't played the PvP? Is that what you mean? I don't think I said that 5 times. I said like 2 or 3. It's probably more than I need to. I will say, like, the one blatant negative I do have about this game is the music is not good. It's not terrible. It's not good. Like, I think of all the MMOs I've played, like, the background music, like, in certain regions and zones and biomes, and there's pretty unique shit. In this game, I would describe the music as serviceable at times and non-existent at others. Like, in the menu. Before this holiday event, this holiday event, they literally just playing Christmas music, like ding 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 ding. Like, they're just playing Christmas music. But literally, like 3 weeks ago, the menu had no sound. Like, it was eerie and haunting. It's like you open up the menu, nothing. It's like, hello. Felt like I walked into a dark house and they're about to set up a jump scare. So the music is not good at all. I do hope that at some point, I know they have a new expansion that just came out. I don't know if they've added any new tracks with that, but I hope they have, because this game needs some like unique music. Because if you look at FF14, and to be fair with both examples I have, this is a young game. This is a year old. But if you look at like its competitors, like World of Warcraft or FF14, even Guild Wars, all of those games have these like really unique, impressive soundtracks. And yeah, maybe a good chunk of the music in all of those games, well, except FF14. Like, I don't think of even the most casual track in that game is memorable. But if you look at like WoW or Guild Wars and you look at their tracks, and if you look, a good chunk of their music is generic, like background fodder. But then you have like certain encounter music that is just booming, that just stands out. This game doesn't have it. Even when we were running the dungeon the other day, nothing. Like, the music that was there was serviceable, but it wasn't like, oh my god. So I do think they really need to up their music game. Especially in the areas where they just don't have any, like the menu. Like, that still strikes me. It's just, nearly every MMO I play has music in the, like, SWTOR even has, like, some really banging tracks during the menu. This game, outside of this holiday season, nothing. Like, the fuck? Yeah, music is lacking. Oh, you mean that? Well, yeah, I guess that is a caveat, but I was making sure I was being clear, because I was describing a lot of negativity there. And while it may have come off like I was trying not to offend, that's not the point. I was trying to be clear. Okay? If I thought the game was shit, I'd just say it's shit. I'm not really afraid if people disagree with me. Right? But I don't think it's shit, and I was trying to be clear on that. It's like, because it's not bad. But the way I was talking about it, that's the impression I was giving. Because I was only talking about its negatives in a hyper focus. Sometimes when you say something like that, it's not because you're afraid to offend. It's because you're trying to be clear. And I do intend to do a review on this one. So, when I do the review, I'll definitely be more concise with everything. But as I'm just kind of chatting in the stream, off the top of my head, I just want to make everything I'm saying quite clear. I will say what this game does well, other than the crafting and gathering so far, though. Now, do I want to mention that? Because it is based on only 2 dungeons. And why not? The 2 dungeons that we've run were really nice. Like, the design of them took advantage of the game systems pretty well, and it felt really satisfying to play those. So the dungeon design is really good, in tandem with their core systems. And the fact that there's even crafting and gathering resources in the dungeons, I thought was kind of funny. It's like, they know. Hi, rabbit. You don't run that fast. Hemp is really light. Like, my inventory is barely being filled here. Which is good. It means when I actually get this stuff crafted, nice. But I'm gonna grind this area until my inventory is full. So that might take a hot minute. But yeah, other than New World, why are the rabbits so I guess they gotta make it possible to catch them, but still. Wait, did I misread that? What? I think the reason I seem more obsessive about it is that it's not obsessive. Obsession. Yeah. Wait, I think the reason I seem more obsessive about it is that it's not obsession. Okay. Am I reading that right? Yeah, I am reading that right. What? I wouldn't say you seem obsessed. When did I say that? Did I say that? I made a joke earlier about, like, no-lifing the game, but I wouldn't call that obsessive. I mean, maybe by default that is what that means, but if that's the case, then I've obsessed every game I've ever played. Like, I've literally no-lifed every game I've ever played. So, I tend to just use that as a joke of, like, putting a lot of time into a game. I will say this. Though I agree with you in a sense that those other games have 10 years to fall back on, and this is a very young game. That being said, it did have those games to learn from, though. So I don't think, I don't think that you can hand-wave away entirely the faults of this game in comparison to those just because they've had more time. Because the thing is, a lot of those games came out more, like, again, with, like, the music front, right? New World has no major or memorable or unique tracks so far. But WoW, when it came out, had like remember the original opening theme of World of Warcraft? Like the chorus, the like that logo hits the screen, this iconic sound. It had no time to fall back on. That was it. That was day one of that launch, and it had amazing tracks. So, you know, some of the flaws in New World aren't necessarily excusable just because it's a young game. Some things need to be, like, ready to go on day one, and in their case, it's slightly less forgivable than even WoW or Guild Wars were back in the day. Because in their case, they had less predecessors to look back on and go, okay, we need to address that, we need to fix that, we need to go for that, we need to do that, we need to do that, we need to do that, you know? They didn't have that as much. When they came out when MMOs were still a burgeoning category. So the fact that they had stuff that this game doesn't, almost in spades, does kind of hurt New World a little bit in my eyes, because New World did have the benefit of looking back and learning from its predecessors and its contemporaries. Now some of it is excusable because it's year one, and the dev team are a newer team as far as I've seen. I don't think they've done much else. But they still had a lot they needed to address if they wanted to compete in the market. And they didn't. So I agree with you in a sense, but certain things they needed to have day one that really aren't excusable just because it's a young game, because the market isn't young and the category isn't young and the type of game that they're emulating isn't a young format. Oh, both Jenny and I both pricked at you on that one. And actually, you were the first to do it, because we were talking about the flaws of the game then as well. And in that particular run, you were, if I recall correctly, you said, if it comes off like I'm simping for the game, yeah, you brought it up first, right? So we kept the joke going by saying you were simping for the game. So don't put that on me. You started it. I doubt there is hemp in this area. The hell was that sound? Oh, it's the guy. Like, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Excuse me. Right, hello, good sir. Ah. These are shit. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Bison. To you too. Yeah, but like you criticized me for coming off like I was afraid to offend, I need to criticize you in equal measure. Don't get too defensive if you defend the game, man. Like, if you enjoy the game and you feel I'm being unfair, you know, feel free to. And yeah, it's okay if you're just joking about being a simp, but if you care about, if something has earned enough care for you to want to defend it, that's a good sign. Just, as long as you keep the defense on, like, if you go full stand for the game, then there's a problem. But if you just, like, if you like it enough that you feel it justifies defending it and being like, okay, well, I really think it has a good future, I'm optimistic. If something makes you feel that way, that's usually a good sign. It means there's something there that has potential and you see it. Or it's blind optimism, but, either way, it's a good sign. Yeah, but don't, you don't, especially if you don't like the joke about being a simp for the game. Don't feel the need to throw that in there to lighten it up. That reminds me, I should probably queue up for the 3v3 arena, because I've been meaning to try that. And I think I even have a quest for it, so hold on. Mods 3v3. Alright, queue. Oh. Did it queue me? There it goes, okay. That was weird. I clicked the button to queue, and the menu closed. For some reason. Okay. That was, weird. Right. I don't know how long the queues are for that, so I guess we'll just keep grinding at resources. Iron. Still can't do silkweed. Where's 100? Damn it. Iron keep. Speaking of iron, hello. Wait, are you free right now? Damn, that bastard stole me iron! You little shit! Fuck you! Damn bastard! Stole my shit! Times, rather. Alright, if we queue up together, will it be faster? Like an hour. Well, have you been free for an hour, or is the queue like an hour? Monarch Splash. Controlled by Inglorious Flow. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't I? Think I saw the other day the fact. Yeah, that's changed. So yeah, like 3 weeks ago, the cult guys controlled like all of Eternum, or at least this section of Eternum. Now it's controlled pretty much primarily by the other two factions that were the fucking underdogs. And look at how much the the Syndicate controls now. They were the smallest faction. Now they're like top dog. Next to the excuse me. Next to our faction. Talk about like a flip in control. Like the cult guys barely control anything now. They control 2 regions over there. Oh wow, get fucked. Still nobody controls these regions for some reason. Oh, you have an hour. Okay. And yeah, if you want to jump in, feel free. All right, now.
Hello.
Hello.
Still adjusting things. Give me a sec.
That's new.
But yeah, I wasn't being defensive or anything. It's really hard to get tone down in text, so things don't come off quite right.
I see a floating cube.
I think one of the things that I need to put into the feedback section that I keep forgetting to do is the ability to share quests.
That would be nice.
Because they don't have it, and it would be nice if one of you guys had a quest, and I was like, "Hey, I don't have that one. You could just share it with me."
That would also make like the more the open world and playing together on a regular basis more fun.
Yeah.
Because so far, like it's in terms of group activities that actually work together. I mean, there is a reward for like grouping up and doing outworld like stuff, like fighting enemies and collecting stuff, because everyone gets shared experience. But that's not an encouragement to actually play together. That's an encouragement to group up and utilize that system so everybody gets more XP.
Yeah.
But not like actually do the task together.
You want to invite me? You may need to requeue. I'm not sure how that works if you invite somebody.
Alright. So... modes with the arena, play with your group. You won't be able to add any additional group members once your group is queued. Yes.
Alright, so, yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, there's a button here to mark the quest on the map. And a thing to bring up the journal. But that's it.
Did you like the stream?
Sure. Oh, I haven't done. I should.
You wound me.
I keep forgetting. I forget what I had for breakfast. I literally have
giant fuck off like annotations that say leave a like, subscribe.
Yeah. I forget what I had for breakfast most days. So
yeah.
If I end up, well, repeating myself or something, or
I repeat myself all
you
the
have
time.
You have to tell me something multiple times. It's because I'm slow.
It's okay. All right.
I had some friends of mine that I've been speaking to for at least 3 weeks now because we were in Discord, and they just discovered I have a speech impediment. And it's like, we've been talking for 3 weeks. You're just noticing.
Wait, have you been talking mainly through text?
No.
Oh, okay, so they only just that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, according to one of them, they thought I was drinking.
Oh. The entire time?
Yeah.
Apparently, they had the mental image of you just like. Sorry about that.
Sauce all the time. Yeah.
You just got a keg with a hose. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, and go on.
Yeah, I'm only playing for a couple hours. The whole reason I didn't go to work today is because I'm gonna see my grandparents.
Yeah.
Later in the afternoon. My gramps has been having a rough time medically the last. He's in his 90s, so he's got it rough right now.
Yeah.
And you know, this is the first opportunity I've had in months to see him since his last surgery. So I'm taking advantage of it. Yeah, it's gonna hurt my paycheck, but worth it. So yeah. I meant to stream earlier because I was my plan was I went to bed last night. I was gonna wake up early, stream for like a good chunk of time, like 4 hours. I was thinking, and then get ready to go, then go. But then I slept in and started the stream like less than an hour ago, and I gotta leave to see him in 2 hours from now, roughly. Yeah, a little under 2 hours from now.
Well, like I said, I don't have long either, so.
Hopefully we get queued up in the PvP.
It's not like you'll leave me hanging, so no worries.
Alright. Yeah. Give me your venison. I find it weird my cooking stat is higher than my... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why? No. One of the presence nodes is floating in midair just out of reach.
Oh, I've run into that before.
Damn it.
I ran into that out over the water. Might be able to jump for that. Or not.
I was trying. It couldn't reach it. Shield rush.
Speaking of in-game bugs.
You find literal bugs? Alright, let's see here.
And of course you made all your stuff star metal.
Hey Caboose, just gonna listen while I work, unless you want to talk in Discord. We got our group chat going right now in the FF14 Discord. Life Bloom.
But yeah, the territory standing can change quickly, so you got to pay attention to it.
We pulled a 180. The cult basically controlled everything until last week. And then they got yeeted out of like numerous of their territories.
Yeah. I don't know why nobody's taken the new territories yet.
They've been like unclaimed since I joined.
For forever, yeah. I know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been up there. Maybe you can't claim them for some reason.
I don't know. It is odd. Bison down. You think you're a part of that? Well, you can join it at any time. I link it in all the streams.
Yeah.
Hemp, that's what I'm looking for.
I was actually surprised to see you on so early, to be honest.
Yeah, normally I'd be at work right now, but given seeing my gramps and my nana, I took the day off. Thing is, I could have tried to do a half day, but it's a pain in the ass to get the school district to agree to that if they don't already have a job listed for a half day. Normally, if you come in and they only have jobs listed for the full day, which they tend to, they want you to stay for the full thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I got to do something before I normally leave, so I can't do that. Oh,
Gotta buy a house, and I don't know where to buy my first one.
I don't know. I'm planning on either buying a house in probably Cutlass Keys or Monarch's Bluff. Only reason I buy a house in Monarch's Bluff is that's where all my shit is, and I'm too lazy to move it to Cutlass Keys.
And I don't remember whether I told you, so, but you might want to test it. I heard that you get a experience boost that increases over time if you run around flagged for PvP.
Might work like that as an incentive.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 'Cause
I've considered flagging for PvP a couple times, but I'm still not max level. And
you can still flag for PvP. Cause,
I know,
yeah,
but I have a distinct feeling that most of the people who are going to be flagged are going to be max level and geared up the wazoo.
In my experience, not so much.
Really?
The highest ones I've seen are in the upper 20s.
Okay.
I think most of the higher level people are in the new areas. Which I conveniently can't get to.
Conveniently.
Well, yeah, in this case, because, I don't want to get ganked, so.
Is there a flagging system in this game in terms of, like, if you try and... Well, no, because in a system where you flag for PvP in the cities, I guess there wouldn't be a corruption-esque system, like Ashes of Creations is pitching it's gonna have, where players get a little, like, tag on them for ganking other players. But that only works in a forced PvP game, and this one you flag for it, so that wouldn't make sense, I guess. But it'd be kind of funny if there was roaming gangs of people dedicated to PvP who are near max level, just going after the people who are trying it out at lower levels. It's like, well, you made a mistake, and we're gonna make sure you pay for it. It's like 7-on-1.
I did hear something about a Valor or Honor system, but I'm not sure whether that was something they were adding or something that people wanted them to add. So
I know the one duel I've done in this game so far, I was challenged by a guy equal level to me, and he killed me the first time wholesale because I didn't realize his abilities. He challenged me immediately again, and I was one hit from killing him, and he stopped challenging me. I'm like, really? Do it one more time, man. Come on, let's go. And he ran away. It's like, really? You fucking bitch? You only want to challenge people you know conclusively you're going to kick their ass?
yeah, pretty much.
What a bitch.
You played WoW, you know how it works.
Yeah, I know. Ganking rogues. The moment they realize they're up against someone who knows what they're doing, they fuck off. Like, shit, he knows what he's doing. The link's in the description of the stream. There we go. It's in the link is in the description of all my streams. What do you mean you're waiting for the link? You've had it the entire time. You've had it for months. For almost a year. Come back,
my dear. You know people don't read the description of videos.
Well, I'm trying to get that habit on lock.
Well, I say people, but I do. But I'm probably the only one. So.
There are very few people who read the description. So usually the motivation to read the description, you either have to literally bait them with like saving money with some kind of ad or something, or you piss them off so much that they look at your description for any kind of material that they can go at you for.
Yeah.
Those are the two reasons people typically go for the description of a video.
You watch. Today will be the day it takes like 2 hours to queue into an arena.
Oh, yeah. So what's with the two giant ball sacks in the middle of this field over here?
You know what?
These just giant stone balls or domes.
Can you show me?
Yeah, I'm right next to one right now.
Oh. Oh, those things. I don't know what those are, but yeah. You're like giant ball sacks. And I'm like, what? I think you picked up some lore pages that might explain them at one point or other.
I gotta read.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to, but then again, I was never one that cared about reading. So
Well, I can't read.
you can, you just don't like to.
Oh, I guess it isn't in my... I could have sworn I had them saved in on my stream. Alright, well, let me link it.
You can't blame him then. We were wrong.
Oh yeah, I was wrong. I could have sworn I had a permalink in them. And that's how most of the people who join this server get in, is from the stream link, is what I've been told. I will edit right now. There we go. Alright, check again, Caboose. You might have to refresh the page, but the link should be there now. There we go. Hemp. More hemp. Hemp me up.
Yeah, right now the party finder system that you asked about earlier only works for dungeons. It'd be nice if they included that for other things.
Yeah.
Like you could, post like an ad of something you wanted to do.
Like roaming horde of hemp collectors for the day. Go.
Yeah.
Did you shit it? Come back here. Goblin fuckhead.
We didn't really need it when we did the dungeon, so I didn't say anything. So. As a matter of fact, didn't I, and Jenny, didn't we run the dungeon the first time by ourselves?
Yep. We've been queued for 16 minutes, wow. That is the middle of the day on a weekday, so probably a lot less people on right now.
Yeah. Holy crap.
What?
I walked up to a house and it's telling me to purchase house 0 gold. So I think I'm going to take that.
0 gold.
Yep.
Is it a shack?
It's one of the smaller ones, yeah, but you can have up to 100 items in it. Let's see. Decorate with furniture. Trophy buffs. That's what I was talking about earlier. You can display trophies in your house that give you buffs in the real world.
In the real world?
Or,
You tell me I
in
can
the
put a
open-
trophy in
in-
New World and I'll like start losing weight tomorrow?
oh, ha, ha, ha. Okay. I walked into that one. Fair, but
Goddamn, everybody should be playing New World right now.
I know, right?
Or I'll start making more money and start losing weight tomorrow.
But needless to say, I took that house because, free.
And yeah, you see a free house, take it. Maybe someone fucked up on the listing price.
Where are you, actually?
I'm in Windsward by Primrose.
It's in Monarch's Bluff.
Ah.
It's the house on the corner by the wall where the well is.
I know what you're talking about. It
Do
was
you really?
0
Or are you
gold.
just saying you do?
No, I do.
Yeah, that's what it told me. So I took it. Because, 0 gold.
If you see something for free, take advantage before it's not free no more.
Although my question would be, why is it free? But
Well, in real life, probably because it's shit. You buy a house and someone lists it for nothing. That it's more of a crater. It's like, hey, walk into this place of the condemned. Oh. Bully. How many people died here? Oh, only 100. Oh. Bully. Sweet lord.
I should probably change my skills before we go in because I don't have a shield.
Now the build I'm running for my character is a tank. Let's just return to monkey mode.
My whole thing is, what happened to my shield? Did I delete it without meaning to?
You might have. I sometimes brainlessly dismantle my shit.
Yeah.
Usually only if I can't sell it on the marketplace though. I'm happy to say I finally got 9,000 gold. It took forever.
9,000, aren't you sweet?
Mm.
Want to know how much I got?
10,000.
No, not quite that much. About 6 million.
Oh. What are you selling?
Nothing you're not.
Okay.
Okay. I misread that. It's not 6 million. It's 6,000. I'm stupid. I read the decimal as a comma. Because of course I did.
So I have more money than you.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
But see, now you feel better about yourself.
Yes. And worried about you.
Oh, everybody should be worried about me.
I got my harvesting to 89. Just gotta keep grinding it out.
You want a good laugh?
Always.
So I've decided to try and teach myself Thai.
Thai.
So, yeah.
Like Thai food or two Thai?
Thai is in the Thai language from Thailand.
Oh.
Yes. So I've decided to do that. So every day I do what is it's supposed to be a 5-minute lesson. And if you ever think that learning a language is hard, try learning Thai with a speech impediment and a redneck accent on top of it.
Would certainly make it a challenge.
Yes, indeed.
But once you get it mastered, it makes it more of an accomplishment. You had more of a hill to climb.
True.
Yeah, fibers weigh like nothing. Got over 3,000 of them. My inventory is only 2/3 full. And that's with collecting other resources like the bison hides.
Yeah.
And some ore.
So, you remember when I said I had an hour?
Yep.
Apparently, I have to go.
Oh, okay.
So, I apologize for that.
That's fine. I hope you have a good day.
You as well. Might see you later if you're back on.
Yeah, I'll probably be on this afternoon, but...
Alrighty.
Have a good one. Okie dokie dokie, okie dokie. Die, bison.
The computer will catch up with itself.
Dragon glory. Harvest. Come on, 10 more levels and it'll be at 100. Had a little bit of a lag spike there. That was weird. Normally I only get those in the cities where there's like millions of fucking players. How much hemp do you have? Yes. Like, how many fibers do I have? Yes. Hello, Mr. Bison. Goodbye, Mr. Bison. Give me your hide. Blagonk. Blagonk, blagonk, blagabagonk. Hey! I got it at 92, fellers. Just gotta keep grinding. We'll get it at that 100 soon. Man, these queues for the arena are really fucking long. I got a quest that tells me I have to do it, and I want to do it, but it's like when we were in the queue for almost a half hour between me and Bad Gamer. I was already in the queue before he hopped in, like for like almost 20-25 minutes, and now I've been in this queue for 6. And I'm just like left wondering, like, is that few people trying out the 3v3 arenas?
Yes.
Hey, Chris.
Hey. Told you it was the first place I looked.
Hey, even when I shared the link to us, it took you a while to get in here.
Phone call from I'm at work. So.
Nice work.
Not bad. A little upset I couldn't leave when I wanted to, but that's life. I like driving at night. I don't like driving during the day. Too many stupid people.
I think you get your fair share of stupid in both fronts.
Oh, stupid truckers, stupid cars. Oh, yeah. So how is New World? Is it worth the purchasing price?
Do you like crafting and gathering systems akin to survival game, where anything in front of you you can gather and craft items from?
It depends. Do I have to constantly eat and drink and shit like that?
You don't have to, no.
Or oh, so it's like eating and drinking is kind of like World of Warcraft, regain health, out of combat type stuff.
Yeah, it gives you bonuses, but it's not. It doesn't have a survival mechanic like that. I'm more talking about the actual crafting and gathering. Eating food is only a buff. Speaking of,
I mean, shoot, I was I'm an herbalist in World of Warcraft, so yeah, I don't mind it.
then I think you'd get a good chunk out of the game for its asking price. Because that's a big chunk of the game, because the entire economy is player run. Like, every item in the game is crafted by another player with items in the open world. And the upside with that is literally... it's kind of like Albion Online or something like that.
Pre-patch Star Wars Online.
SWTOR or Galaxies?
I think it was Galaxies. The old Sony Entertainment. Where before the patch that screwed everything up, everything was made by players from the starships all the way down to, the food that you ate. Everything was player driven.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that. And there are no NPCs that sell you items, unless you count the faction vendor, who sells you items based on your reputation with the faction. But outside of that, everything is, like, you get most of your gold from selling shit to people. And the thing is, because literally...
That's a dumb idea.
Yeah, it's one of the draws of the game, is it's entirely a player-run economy. And as it is, the items you get from the faction vendors, you can't sell. At least as far as I've seen.
That makes sense.
But, yeah, there's no NPCs that vend, like, basic stuff like food or potions.
It's not like World of Warcraft where there's a junk shop everywhere.
Yeah, there's no junk shop in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to sell stuff or buy stuff, it has to be through the market board from a player. But with that, you can pretty much sell anything. Like, I've made money in this game by selling water. And you know how easy water is to gather? You just got to go to any river or pond, step in it, and you can endlessly just press the gather button and get 10 buckets of water per gather. And there are some idiots who will buy it for like fucking 100 gold for like a stack of 100 buckets of water. Hell, even the towns have wells that you can every like 20 minutes can get a single node collection worth of 10 buckets of water. And
convenience tax. Gotta love it.
People are fucking lazy as fuck. The only things I've bought have been like crafted items that are better than what I can craft. That's about it. For like what I've bought.
Shoot, why do you think DoorDash exploded, dude? People are lazy as fuck.
Yep.
Like, oh wait, there's a service. I can pay a fee where people will bring the food I want to me.
Yep. Convenience tax is definitely a thing in this game. Yeah, but like old school WoW, you also have to level your usage of everything. Like, if you want to get better with your usage of axes, you have to use axes more. You want to get... Huh?
You have to train at weapon guys to... It's like, oh, I want to use pole arms. Oh, better go learn how to use pole arms from the weapon vendor.
No, not from the weapon vendor. You have to actually use it.
Oh, okay. So
there's no
you just
trainer.
know how to use. Okay, okay. That's what I meant. It's like, oh well, I want to use two-handed hammers and I can't use it. Let's go to the weapons trainer and learn how to use a two-handed hammer.
Oh no, you can equip any weapon at any time. It's just if you want to use any of its abilities or you want to use it effectively, you have to grind it and practice with it.
See, I like that. I miss that in World of Warcraft. Actually, weapon proficiency.
Yeah. And as it is, I have leveled my sword and shield to 11, and the max level I think for weapons is level 20 for each weapon. And in the game,
we're going to turn it up to 11.
I'm trying to get that up to 20, and my Warhammer is also level 10, which I want to get that up to 20 as well. And the build I'm running is a tank build, so I'm putting all of my stats, my attributes, into strength and constitution. I'm returning to monkey.
So you can just drink all of that raw water and not get sick. Microbes and whatnot. I'm kidding.
Okay. But yeah,
I mean, you say you can just walk up to a lake and get 10 buckets of water. Like, is that purified water or water?
It's just water. Like, there's normal survival game things are not in this. Just the crafting and gathering is taken from those.
So the only status effect are like put on by enemies or something like that if you get sick or something.
Yep. Like you can get poisoned by like undead enemies and stuff like that.
Oh, that makes sense. Just as long as they have a paladin-like class, I will do it. I will play.
There are no classes in the game.
As long as I can make a paladin, I will play.
You pretty much can. I mean, your class, quote unquote, is entirely defined by like what you have equipped. Because each of your weapons have abilities attached to them based on the weapon. And as for your abilities as a character, you basically have none. Like you don't have any spells. Those are all generated again by the weapons you have. So if you wanted to run a paladin, that'd be you'd either be running a sword and shield and a life staff, or a warhammer and a life staff. Because the life staff is the only way you can heal.
So it's kind of like how Inquisitor Martyr does weapons. Each weapon has its own stat block and action that you can use with it, basically.
I mean, yeah. Kind of like that. Except in Inquisitive Martyr, you still have class abilities.
Yeah, yeah.
In this, you do not. It's entirely the abilities of your weapon choice.
Right on.
But with that, there's a lot more freedom to be what you want to be. Like, you can use any combination of any two weapons in the entire game. Like, I'm running Sword and Shield and Warhammer because that's the best for tanking. Because Warhammer is great for actually dealing out damage. It's a brutal beast of damaging. And Sword and Shield is obviously the main way to actually tank damage. And aggro enemies.
Now, what about armor? Do you have to, do you level up using the armor if you get hit or something like that? Or is it just,
no,
I can equip anything I want?
You can equip pretty much anything you want. It just comes with the cost of your ability to dodge. Like, there's 3 categories of armor. There's heavy, medium, and light. If you have light armor, you will take a lot more damage because it defends a lot less. But you can dodge roll pretty frequently, and it uses less stamina. If you're wearing medium armor, you can't dodge roll, but you can kind of do like a hop out of the way of attacks. And if you're wearing heavy, you don't call that a dodge. You slightly rush in one direction. And even then, you don't... When I say slight, I mean, like, you... the closest to a dodge...
You just moonwalk out of the way.
It's a very slow move out of the way. If you're wearing heavy armor, just don't dodge. Block.
Oh, so they actually have like a dedicated block button?
If you have a sword and shield, it's right click.
Okay.
Well, actually,
so it's not like something like Vermintide where any weapon has a quote-unquote block.
Oh, well, no. Kind of. No ranged weapon does. Like if you have a musket, a bow and arrow, a blunderbuss, if you have those, they don't have a block option. You right click is to aim. But if you have something like a warhammer or a warhammer, great sword, anything like that, those have a block option with right click.
Okay.
But they're really ineffective. I'd say your ideal blocking is going to be with a sword and shield. Yeah. You can equip any armor, period, and there's no proficiency with armors. The only cost of your armor choice is your degree of dodging. And if you have a low constitution, I wouldn't recommend wearing something like heavy armor, because your health isn't that great anyway, so, and your armor only reduces the amount of damage coming in. But if what's beneath the armor is still fragile, you might want to invest more in just not getting hit, so wear light armor and dodge.
So it's not like World of Warcraft. Ah, man, I gotta wait till level 50 so I can wear plate armor.
Now, you can wear plate armor from the get-go. It just, again, you won't be able to dodge.
Kind of sounds like a mixture of World of Warcraft and Monster Hunter.
Loosely?
Well, the crafting and the hunting for Monster Hunter with the social interaction of old school World of Warcraft. Let me put it that way.
Kinda.
As long as they don't screw up the social interaction, then you're good.
I mean, it's a very PvP-centric game. It's not.
Yeah.
It's less so than it was intended to when it came out, because when the game launched, it was designed around PvP being a very central focus of the game. But the thing is, PvP is toggleable in this game for like open world PvP.
Okay.
So and I'm not a fan of toggleable PvP. I've had my rant about that. I think there should be dedicated server in any game for if you're. In my opinion, you should commit, and once you've made the commitment, you stick to it. You can't be flip-floppy whenever the fuck you want. I'm fine with the game. I'm fine with the game giving people the option, but don't give them the option in the sense of, oh, on this server, you make a character, and you can at any time turn PvP on or off at your leisure whenever the fuck you want. Because I think that invites a lot more toxicity in the game and makes it a lot shittier to PvP, because to give a scenario, in a game that makes you commit to PvP either in a PvP server format or just the game itself is a PvP game and there's no option to PvE, regardless, you by playing it, you've committed, like you've selected to play it or you've selected this PvP server. Once you make that character, that is a commitment you've made to playing in a PvP centric game mode. You can't back out, and you can't bitch out once, like, for example, in a toggleable PvP system, let's say a guy picks a fight with somebody and ganks them out in the world, because both of them have PvP toggled. And then in Revenge, the other guy who just got ganked gets him and his friends together, they toggle their PvP on, and go hunt the guy down. The guy sees them coming, flees to the nearest capital town, turns his PvP off, and just walks around teasing and acting like a jackass, but didn't nut up and shut up to fight them.
I can't tell you how many times in classic World of Warcraft, what was it, Lakeshore? Where Torin Mill and the Alliance up near Arathi, not Arathi Basin, what's that huge PvP, PvE battleground you can do?
I'm not talking Battleground, I'm talking open world.
No, but it's the area where that's located. I can't tell you how many times it was low-level characters getting into fist fight, calling in friends, and we've just had a blast of this little small skirmish between lobies becomes this high-level battle between hundreds of Horde and Alliance players.
Well, yeah, and that doesn't happen in a toggleable system. Because instead of trying to get together with your friends and turn it into an actual brawl, you just flee to the nearest town, turn your PvP off, and then ignore them as they try and get back at you for being a shithead.
Yeah, that's
basically
I
a toggleable PvP invites. It invites trolling, and it also invites pussying, toxicity, and pussing about. Fuck that. No, I hate toggleable systems so much.
Commit or don't.
Exactly.
Not wishy-washy bullshit.
Correct. Either if you select to be on a PvP server, you've committed to PvPing, and you can't back out the first time you get made to pay for being a shithead. But in a toggleable system, you can, and I hate it, and that's why I hate PvP in retail WoW today. And I hope they reverse that at some point back to PvP servers and PvE servers.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy the pussyfooting. I don't judge you if you're someone who doesn't want to PvP, but just don't PvP. Don't go on a server for it. Don't play a game that has it as a central core feature.
You knew what you were selecting when you selected this. If you don't like it, move to the PvE server. It's not hard.
Don't nut up or shut up. Those are your options. I mean, that's my thing with toggleable PvP, and I don't like that this game has toggleable PvP. But
this has been Asmo, and welcome to his TED Talk.
Yeah. My tip jar is in the description.
And after battles like that, you had the Horde and the Alliance players on that server's forum just, razzing each other. I've made some good friends on the Horde side because I'm an Alliance player because, fuck the Horde.
Fuck you, Alliance bitch boys.
But, we've had long-term friendships that have started because, this giant skirmish just naturally evolved in the world.
Yeah. And that can only happen in a system that is the default.
Yeah.
So. Yep. I definitely like that PvP system of just select a server, commit, move on. But yeah, New World was designed with PvP as a central system, and they've kind of backtracked it a little bit. PvP is still a big part of the game. I mean, the game has factions. There's 3 factions. You have the Syndicate, the Cult dudes, can't remember their name, and then you have my faction, which I'm struggling to remember the name of right now because I'm... I am... Marauders. Sorry, took me a second. Yeah, I'm part of the Marauders, which are just kind of like the warrior guys. And in this game, players also control territory. Like, every major town is controlled by a faction, and more specifically by a company, which is like a guild. Each company has a max of 100 players, and to gain access and control of territory, you fight wars with other players. Unfortunately, it's not like there's like this big giant battle in the open world to decide who controls what. It's more like you just fight each other in the reputation grind, and there are assaults on like keeps and stuff in the PvP mode that aid in that, but mainly you gain control and territory not through a direct battle, but by just doing some PvP in some zones and doing a lot of your faction quests, PvP and PvE centric, to gain reputation in an area, and eventually you can take control.
That's the one thing I don't like is forced PvP.
And I don't either, but I don't think I think the better system is to have a server, like this is a PvE server, this is a PvP server.
Yeah. Yeah, and for the people on the PvE server, have another way to get those faction quests done than, oh, well, you got to go out and kill X number of this faction. The kill quests for enemy faction.
I mean, they kind of have that.
I don't know if that's in New World.
They do. They have PvE and PvP quests.
Okay.
PvE quests typically send you to, like, kill NPCs and do side activities. But the thing is, when it comes to what you do with the PvE stuff, none of it is taking on like another faction, because the factions, the only NPCs in the factions are like the vendors.
Okay.
There aren't like patrolling NPCs to fight if you're in a PvE player.
Yeah, it's not like walking through Goldshire, and you have these level 100 elite guards patrolling the area, looking out for griefers. You know, you don't have that protection.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So if you wanna, the only way to kill another faction is just if you're PvPing.
Right on.
Otherwise, you have to just do side quests that vaguely benefit your faction. Like,
Definitely
hey,
getting Warhammer Online vibes from it. I don't know if you ever played that.
I never got to play Warhammer Online, no.
Well, it's sort of the same. It was very PvP centric, where you'd take over different keeps and territories and stuff like that. Between the forces of chaos and the quote unquote forces of good.
Good in air quotes.
So, it sounds like an interesting game. It's just I got to be careful with MMOs. I don't want to lose my life again.
I'd say it for the solo play experience in this game, it's fun up to an extent. I mean, the story it's pretty meh. I mean, the ideas in the story are kind of cool. I mean, the whole thing takes place on an island called Eternum, which is basically the Garden of Eden, and nobody on it can die.
Got it. So you're a bunch of colonizers. Gotcha.
Exactly, actually. That's a theme of it. It's the aesthetic of a lot of the armor and stuff is of colonial times, like Spaniards and stuff.
Yeah, the conquistadors of the time.
Yep.
So my next question is, how's the female armor? Or we took it full on boob bikini armor, or is it actual armor?
It's actually armor.
Oh, thank God.
There's no, even in the store, there's no scantily clad armors or aesthetic.
There's a time and a place for that, especially if it's like a JRPG or, you know, something like Conan. That makes more sense. That's, you know, that sort of inspired that aesthetic. But, like, why can't these women just have actual armor?
Oh, hey, this is Sembiaco and Medao. Welcome to the stream. Oh, there's a lore reason for spawning. Yes, they actually have a lore reason. Yeah, in Eternum, it doesn't matter if you're from Eternum or not. The moment you come to it, you can't die. Again, it's like, basically, it's the Garden of Eden. It was there at the dawn of time, and mankind was once there, and then we got thrust out because we were shit. You know, that kind of thing.
Because we ate apples? Gotcha.
And now we're back, and colonizing it, and nobody can die. And some of the people in Eternum have been here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. The thing is, again, the idea is kind of cool, because there are not necessarily natives, they just lived there so long, and they haven't aged a day. Because you don't age, you don't get, I think they do get sick, but they don't die from any sickness. And if you are stabbed and killed, quote unquote, you come back. You just respawn. And that's like lore. In fact, there's a quest where you run into a guy who just got mugged, and he's like, "Oh, it was bad enough that they killed me a moment ago, but they stole my stuff." Like, the way being killed is seen is the same as being like hit over the head and knocked out.
Yeah, basically, I was like, "Oh man, I really need to go to sleep, but I can't sleep. Time to put a bullet in my brain." Sorry, I don't. It's not a joking matter in real life, but that's how it's treated in game.
Kinda. I mean, not like that. And if you want to fall asleep, you can still fall asleep.
It's merely an inconvenience.
It is an inconvenience.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, they killed me. Oh well, that happens. But they stole my stuff.
Exactly. And
That's just uncouth, I'd
What-
say.
one of the first NPCs I got to meet, other than O'Malley, because she crash landed with you, well, in her own ship. But one of the first NPCs you meet is a young-looking guy, and he just casually mentions how he's been there for like 400, 500 years.
All right.
Again, the idea is cool. It's just unfortunately, as I've played through it, they really haven't done anything with it.
They probably will. I mean, that's too much of an interesting plot hook to leave untouched.
I mean, virtually
But
is
again,
so far.
it's Amazon, and Amazon doesn't know how to write a good story.
Yeah. But that's kind of the premise of Eternum is, yeah, everyone on the island cannot die. And and different peoples who've crash landed on the island at different time periods have kind of contributed to its aesthetic. Like, you have medieval people who've lived here since, well, before muskets and guns were a thing, and then you have people who crash landed more recently who have, well, muskets, cannons, blunderbussts,
Right on.
colonial era technology. You have people who are from the Roman times also on the island.
Now,
Right.
on Eternum, does everything stop? Like, there are no children on the island or anything like that?
I have not run into any yet, so that might be a plot point.
Okay.
But no one said explicitly, as far as I've been playing, that children can't be born on the island. So
That
I
would
don't.
be a hell unto itself.
Yeah, it'd be a bit fucky, especially since that's kind of the natural order of things, right? Like, you know, you're programmed by nature to find a partner, start a family. As it is, I'm disappointed so far. Again, they haven't really done much with the eternal life thing. Like, it's been mentioned casually, and there's been some funny jokes around it. And it's like, oh, you know, in my 300 years, it's like, holy fuck. But there's been no, like, exploration of the idea so far in any kind of interesting way. It's like, there
No
hasn't...
psychosis from living that long.
Yeah, there's no, like... There's been no coverage in that sense that I think would be interesting. It's like, oh, if you've lived this long and you haven't aged a day, how much would that fuck with you psychologically? It's like, we're not programmed to live forever. So... That would really fuck with somebody, and I think it'd be it's a very fascinating idea to explore, but none of the quests have done it so far. And the main plot isn't even around that idea. It's just a backdrop thing about the setting. The main plot is around just some big bad evil bitch who came to the island before you. She's only been there like 100 years or so, or less. And some of the characters who've lived on the island for like 600 years have commented about her like, oh, she's been here so long. She's been here over 50 years. And I'm like, you've been here 600! What? Like, some of the dialogue just absolutely confuses me like that.
And then you got to worry about what happens if you leave the island.
Oh, they can't.
Does all of that age catch up to you?
And the only
You
character
know.
who's shown any interest in leaving is O'Malley. She's like a Irish pirate kind of lass. And she
Yeah.
crash landed around the same time as us. But every other NPC, when the topic is broached, say you can't. Like, there's constant storms surrounding the island. It's also why it's hard to get to the island to begin with. It's almost like the triangle. It's like the Bermuda Triangle almost around the island.
Once you're there, you're there. Good luck.
Yep.
It would be interesting that, you know, as they progress, it's like, all right, well, this is colonial time, but one day you're playing in not a modern, but like a 1940s Liberty ship shows up, and you realize, oh crap, we've been on this island that long. You know, it'd be an interesting way to add new weapons and stuff. It's like, oh well, this just happened to show up and bring new weapons and armors and whatnot. It's like, okay, so we're in the age of musket and cannon. Now we're in the age of rolling block guns and stuff like that, you know? And it'd be an interesting way to screw with the player's mind with, oh, I've only been playing for like a year on the island, but yet here comes this modern recognizable ship with like N1 Grands and bolt action rifles, stuff like that.
And that's actually quite possible, because the wider setting outside of Eternum is the real world. Yeah. Like the wider setting, the universe that we're playing in is supposed to be basically placed in our history. So like the Romans were here, some medieval knights. It's the greater setting, the direct setting of the actual game is in Eternum, of course, which is very fantastical. Like there's monsters and stuff, and there's magic. But the actual greater world is our world. It's basically placed in a historical timeline. So that's within possibility to happen in a later time in the game. Again, there's so much they can do with the premise. It's very disappointing so far in the game that nothing's been done with it.
It's just the background, yeah.
It's really just in the background, and it's been used for some jokes here and there, with like, oh, this character, like for example, the guy who got mugged. It's like, oh, the guy killed me, but shit, he stole my stuff. It's like, okay, that's kind of funny, and it's also kind of an interesting idea that they would consider death just that inconvenient. But outside of that, the most that they've done with it is they've explained that whenever you die, you don't always come back as yourself. Like, there's two types of those who come back that aren't like normal people. You have the lost, who die and they become like ghosts and undead and zombies. Like, they come back and they've just lost themselves and they're who they were. And then you have the corrupted, who are directly, corrupted by like an evil magic source on the island, kind of like chaos almost. And those guys, they come back and they have, they're more alive than the lost, which are basically just the undead. But in their case, they're evil. Like, they're out to destroy and control Eternum and the rest of the world, that kind of thing. And they're led by this evil bitch who, again, I've heard dialogue in the game where she's like, they described her as only being there for 50 or so years. And I'm just left like pondering why everyone talks about her like she's like this big ethereal figure. Like, she's a voice and you're constantly talking and jabbering in my fucking head. I find that annoying. But she's not been there that long. But she's talked about in the same way as, like, we might talk about, like, how old Dumbledore is from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's like, why is she given such up front in the center attention like that? I don't get it.
I mean, yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, if they did progress the storyline to like the 40s and whatnot, it still wouldn't get rid of melee because you can't die. So melee would still be a viable tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Sorry, just thinking out loud.
It's okay.
But it sounds like you have potential there to do a great story and really screw with people's mind. But, it's just the backdrop to the setting. Like, no, the backdrop to the setting's the best part.
It kind of is, yeah. And my problem with a good chunk of it, outside of just them not using the setting because they have a cool idea. Like, again, it's like basically the Garden of Eden, where mankind sprung into existence from. You can't die here, and even if like you wanted to, and the thing is, dying is still somewhat risky because you might come back as a lost, or you might if you died be like fighting a corrupted person, you might come back corrupted yourself. So it's not even death is the fear of like going away forever. It's, do I get to come back as myself the next time, or am I going to come back as something lesser and be forced to live like that for eternity?
Yeah.
So there's stuff there that they could work with, but they still haven't really done anything with that either. It's very disappointing so far how little they're really leaning into that cool idea.
That's actually an interesting premise. Well, a lot more than the respawn mechanic of World of Warcraft.
Or Destiny.
I never played Destiny, so.
Destiny has a similar idea to this game where if the respawn is explained lore-wise in that as well, as the Traveler brings people back from the dead to play to be guardians, and your ghost, whenever you die, brings you back.
Oh, okay.
But only specifically guardians have that. Like a normal person can still die and stay that way. Literally, the feathers I have are too heavy to go in my storage. That's fitting.
Gotta make them bags. Gotta make them big bags. Gotta go to the tailor. Gotta learn how to make them big bags.
Mm.
God, I made so much money just making the big, like, 20 slot bags back in the day.
Oh, people make bank who make bags in this game, because you can have like 3 of them equipped. They increase how much you can carry around, and as crafting and gathering is such a big thing in the game, having good inventory space is pretty crucial. But you know, like the thing is, I have a lot of money by this game standards, and I only have 9,514 gold. Like having tens of thousands of gold is actually being somewhat decently loaded. If you have 100k, you've been selling a lot of shit and making dough. But you know, that's kind of like the
corner
gauge.
the market on water.
You can. Again, the convenience tax in this game is ridiculous. So many people are fucking lazy, and because they can't just buy really shitty stuff from like NPCs, they buy them from you. You'd be shocked what people are willing to buy. Hold on, to make my point. For example, in this game, you can also make buy orders and sell orders in the marketplace. Like you put your stuff up for sale, that's a sell order. But if someone is looking to buy a specific item, they can put up a buy order, which is just kind of placed on certain items, and you can sell directly to them for their what they're offering or willing to pay for it. For example, I have linen, which is one of the easiest things to get to craft in this game, because all you need to craft it is just hemp, and hemp is one of the most common plants in the game. Like you'll find it everywhere.
The hemp, not craft.
It's not that kind of hemp. It's not like weed.
Oh.
So hemp is one of the most common items in the common craftable items in the game, next to like logs and trees. And you know how much people are willing to pay per linen?
1,000 gold.
Per linen, 59 cents. That doesn't sound like a lot, but keep in mind, 1,000 gold is considered a lot. Like you have money if you have 1,000 gold. So the way money stacks, like this person's offering 59 cents per linen. I have 1,892 that I literally just made from like an hour of grinding hemp and then crafting it. So for an hour's worth of my time, I could sell them absolutely all of my linen, which I'm going to, and I get over 1,063.26 gold out of it.
That actually sounds really, really fun.
Really basic stuff sells because a lot of people are... Because the most basic materials, when you're like leveling your crafting and you're crafting like bigger items, you need more and more of the most baser items.
It's like Skyrim, where you have to craft like a bajillion iron daggers to level up your crafting skill.
Pretty much. I mean, that's how you level up your crafting in this game. Is you do have to just craft random items. Now, if like for example, if I wanted some of the best weapons in this game, by the way, are crafted. You can get good items from like doing dungeons and stuff, but the best items are crafted by just like max level crafters. Like crafting is the way to get the best gear in the game.
Right on.
Yep, and you can mod the weapons you craft. Like you for example, if I'm like just looking at the crafting tree for the blacksmithy, I can craft rare items such as Balance of the Time, the First of Many, and Tidal Reaver, which are all long swords, which are one-handed swords used typically with a sword and shield. And I can, well, on this one I can't add any bonuses, but I can add a gem slocket, so I can mod it with a gem, which can give it elemental abilities. It can increase its base stats. It can increase its attributes for me attached to it. If I craft something like a more basic steel sword, I can add any number of mods to either, for example, I can give this sword the ability to increase Constitution, or Constitution and Strength, Dexterity and Strength, Focus and Dexterity, which if you're playing a specific class or custom class of your own and you need certain stats boosted just beyond what you've allocated for your attributes, you'd want your weapons and your gear to be outfitted with bonuses to your attributes, which can be everything from your sword, your shield, your armor, which is any of your armor pieces, from your head, your chest piece, your arms, your feet, and your legs.
So basically what I'm hearing is you can make a thunder hammer. Got it.
Yeah, you can. It's all how you mod it. And you can also increase the quality of the item by using Azoth, which is just kind of like this ethereal element you get from grinding any resource in the game. It's like an energy thing, and yeah, you pretty much can only get it from grinding in some sense or another. But it's also, you also use Azoth to fast travel. So you have to gauge how much you use in crafting and gathering and how much you use to actually fast travel in the world. Because the further you fast travel, the more of it you use.
I didn't think it got this cold in the southern United States.
The new queen will need a knight. I plan to
You know,
stay by
Nike,
her side.
southern
As long
states
as
should
she
be hot.
will let me.
Now that I hear about this corrupted voice in your head, the Watcher's report is even more disturbing. I fear go in and
Have a good one, Simbiaku and Madao. Have a great one. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, yeah. There's plenty about New World that's likable. It does also have plenty of flaws, though.
Well, that's with any MMO. I mean, there were a lot of bugs with OG World of Warcraft.
Yeah. I'd
You
say my biggest flaws with New World come in the MMO aspects. Like the game is not a great MMO because it does better than WoW does, in my opinion, about like encouraging you to group up with friends. Because even if you don't actually stay together, if you just group up with some friends while you're all online, you can be completely different corners of the whole map, but you'll gain XP from one another if you're all grinding resources and stuff. So there is encouragement to like group up and do that in the world. And when it comes to dungeons, there is a party finder, but the dungeons are going to be infinitely less enjoyable if you run them with randos. Like it's even more miserable than running them with randos in WoW, because the dungeons are actually difficult in this game. Like they tier up pretty quick. Like I over-leveled a dungeon by like almost 10 levels, and I still ended up dying like 2 or 3 times. and I had a healer, which healers are rare in this game because it's not a class. Like, there's no classes. So for someone to be a healer, they have to dedicatedly get a life staff and dedicate themselves to practicing with it, getting the right rotation with it, and buffing it. So healers are fucking rare in this game because so few people are willing to do that. And for example, Jenny, who is a healer in any game she plays, she's a healer in this one. She's maxed out her life staff, I'm pretty sure by now. And despite the fact that we made a company almost simply because she was getting so many demands from people in chat and being DM'd all the time, because people saw she was using a life staff, and they're like, "Oh fuck, she's a healer." It's like you have a bigger chance of finding Bigfoot in this game than finding a healer. So many people have been asking her to join their company, to join their group, to help them out with this dungeon, and she constantly has to turn people down. It's like, no. And even we thought like that would get like tapered off if we created a company, which we did, and she still gets offers regardless.
So when she should start making money, it's like, oh, you want a healer? 10,000 gold.
She's pondered that, and I've told her, like, go ahead, just go ham. start mercenarying yourself out.
Oh yeah, not the other word, but yeah, become a merc.
Yeah, I've been queued for a 3. The thing is, despite how PvP centric this game was supposed to be, you know how long I've been in the queue for a 3v3 or PvP arena?
45 minutes.
54 minutes and 43 seconds as of this queue, but I was queued with Bad Gamer earlier, and we were queued together waiting for a half hour, and I queued solo before he joined me in the game, which I was queued solo initially for 16 minutes, so it's been almost 2 hours worth of waiting.
Jesus.
Apparently not that many people are interested in doing the arena. I know it's a weekday during the day, but it ain't looking good. Oh, also what's kind of interesting is, so you know how I said, like, territories and cities and towns are controlled by factions and companies?
Yeah.
Well, if you defeat an enemy company and take their territory, once you control a territory, you can tax it. And that goes for both buy and sell orders. So you can set that really high or really low. And you can also set different rates for people who are in the same faction as you, same company as you, and those who are not.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And your guild banner gets put on the outside of the walls of the given city you control, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And not only can you set taxes, but also every given city, like all the stations to craft and gather stuff, is leveled up by the people who go to that city. Like, to level them up, you have to set up town board requests for items, and if enough people do them, then your given stations get upgraded. And depending on the tier of, like, let's say the kitchen, or the tier of the blacksmithy, or the forge, dictates very much so, like, what degree of refinery you can do. Like, if you have, like, a tier 1 forge, for example, you can refine iron into iron ingots, but that's basically it. You can't do steel, you can't do gold, silver. So, yeah. That's also a big incentive for people to actually, like, grind out stuff per region.
Like fantasy metals in the game, like mithril and shit like that.
The orichalcum is the most valuable ore in the game, I believe. And I only just recently unlocked the ability to mine platinum. Yeah, and the crafting and gathering trees for, like, the max, you level those just like you level weapons. The more you do them, the more they level up. And you don't stop getting XP from, like, the lowest tier gathering resource on a gathering level. You just get a lot less XP for it than doing something higher tier. But you always get...
text. The crafting tables are also text.
Yeah, I explained that.
There's a gap between what I heard and what I heard when I got in here, so.
That's okay.
Oh.
3 a.m.? It'd be 3 a.m.
No. He probably started at like 9 for him, but for me it was like 6:15 when the stream started, when the alert went out.
That was a pretty major hiccup. Yeah. Good morning.
Did you two stop fighting? Who put you outside with the dog?
Prior warning, Caboose. Jenny regularly talks to her cats randomly and sometimes insults them. So, don't assume she's talking about you.
That's alright, I'm used to being insulted.
Like, sometimes you'll be...
I am insulting.
Sometimes you'll be mid-sentence and she'll be like, I'll fucking kill you! I'm like, oh, damn. I was just talking about the weather, but shit. And she'll be like, no, my cat. I'm like, oh, okay.
I try not to do that unless he's, like, done something. The I'll fucking kill you is usually when he sunk his claws into my thigh mid-pull. Because he does that sometimes when he wants his attention. He'll come up beside me, and if I don't notice him, he'll just jump up onto my leg and sink his front claws into my thigh.
Cats.
He's cute,
the ultimate
but
attention whores.
He's lucky he's cute, or he'd be mittens by now.
Indeed. But yes, be prepared for those, like, random interrupts.
I am behave.
Like my cat I had earlier in the year. I just called them emergency rations.
They're not Paimon. Paimon is emergency rations. You have to have played the game I'm talking about to understand what I'm talking about. Never mind.
Fresh and impact?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware of the meme. I haven't played it. I'd like to, but I only got room in my life for one gacha game. And that's Azure Lane.
It's not a bad game, Genshin Impact, but there's this like little floating fairy thing, and a couple of times during this, like right at the beginning of the story, you have a chance to call it emergency rations, and the joke just kind of carries on through. But it's not a bad game. It's just a gacha game, so I know better than to go back and play it again.
Yeah, I don't do gacha games.
I only play one. That's Azure Lane. Used to play Girls Frontline, but I missed out on getting a gun I really wanted in that game. So, screw it.
Yeah, you call me a meanie butt in the chat?
I did call you a meanie butt in the chat.
Why?
Because you started a stream of a game I can play with you at 6 a.m.
Well, it wasn't 6 a.m. for me. It was 9.
No.
9:30, actually.
But that's the magic of time zones.
Indeed. Yeah.
I like time zones going west. I don't like time zones going east. Going west, I gain hours. Going east, I lose. I don't like that.
Oh yeah, we were talking about earlier how people have been tracking you down and like demanding your services. Your healer.
And they've stopped doing that as... Okay, usually it's when I'm just hanging out in town, someone will go, hey! If that's using a life staff and a void gauntlet, it probably knows what it's doing healing. So I get random invites, but I haven't gotten one in a couple of days, so...
Time to
Actually,
mercenary
currently,
yourself. No.
the people that I've seen needed most recently is actually tanks.
Are they tanking correctly?
I don't know. I've just watched the chat and people have been complaining that there aren't enough tanks.
I mean, I'm a tank. I haven't gotten any invites. I mean, in the chat just now, I just glanced. Someone's asking in the global chat, any armor smiths looking for work? And that is something cool in this game, is because there's so many people too lazy to level their crafting and gathering, they straight up, like, someone who has leveled that shit to max is getting plenty of work.
It's not only that you have to level that shit to max, you have to have the armor smithing trophy in your house, you have to have the food, you have to have the potions to make the max level crap. It's not just that you have to have maxed out your level in the profession, you have to have done a whole bunch of other shit too, and paid for a house.
Yeah, house paying.
Speaking of which, I paid for a house.
So did Bad Gamer. You know how much he spent?
Ridiculous
22K.
sum.
0 gold. He got a house for free. In Monarch's Bluff.
How?
I don't know. I didn't think that they were listed by... I think they're listed by the faction that controls the town. Because otherwise, why on earth would the system of the game generate a free house? So, I guess someone sold the house and listed it for 0 gold. For some reason.
That's not how that works. The houses are instanced, and they're a set price per... So, for instance, when I went to buy a house in Everfall, I could have paid 5,000, 10,000, or 15,000, depending on which house I wanted. There's a number of them in that price range for each city. And I picked one of the $15,000 ones because they have more space to put stuff. And one of the things you can put down are treasure chests, storage chests, that allow you to have more storage in that city. I am currently up to over 2,000 in that city, and it is full, along with all my other storage, because I am a fucking pack rat. But, because each house only also has 5 spaces for trophies. The $15,000 one, I don't know about the $5,000 one. But the more trophies you want, the more houses you need. You can have up to 3 houses. So presumably you could buy a house in every different city if you wanted to. Well, 3 different cities. But you also have to get up to a certain rank to get the house of a certain type. So you have to get up to rank... I don't know if it's rank 1 now for small houses, but it's rank 30 for the biggest house.
Rank 30.
Yep. My current rank in Everfall is 44.
In Everfall? The only area I have any good rank in is Monarch's Bluff, is 24 or something like that.
No, I
yep, Monarch's Bluff 23, sorry.
42 in Everfall, 20 in Monarch's Bluff, 11 in Weaver's Fen.
Yeah, Cutlass Keys is the next highest, which is at 9.
Cutlass Keys is pretty cool.
I like it. I was thinking about making it my home, but I'd have to move all my storage shit to that one.
At least it's pretty easy to move your storage shit now. It used to be you would have to go to the place that you wanted to take the stuff from your storage and then put it in your inventory and then pop a potion because your inventory was now full. And then... I didn't, okay. And then teleport to the place you wanted to drop your stuff off. Drop your stuff off there. Now you can just open the inventory in the place you are, your storage, and on the top of the storage window, there's a drop-down menu, and you can click on the place that you have the stuff that you want to transfer, and then you can pull stuff out of that, but you can't put stuff into that from that menu. So say you have a bunch of stuff in Everfall that you want to move to Monarch's Bluff. You go to Monarch's Bluff, pull down the drop-down menu, click on Everfall, pull what you want to put in Monarch's Bluff, which is all my cooking stuff, and then just drop the cooking stuff in Monarch's Bluff.
Okay.
That's one of the things they made a bunch easier when they did some updates after I started playing the first time.
Indeed. Oh, did you hear Chris Messon's back on the Blizzard staff?
I don't want to know anything about Blizzard.
Okay.
Trades are going back. You've betrayed the trust of the anti-World of Warcraft people.
I honestly don't care that he's playing again. I just will not engage with Blizzard at any point in the future.
No, I get that, especially after they screwed up so much.
It
It's a combination of that and other... A lot of my memories with WoW are family memories, and my family has... My mom died this year. My older brother has been disowned. There's 2 members of my old guild who are... Well, 3 counting mom that are dead. Can't bring them back. No way to get them back. So... WoW for me has a lot of traumatic memories.
I understand.
Also, the company is dickbags.
Oh yeah.
Very much.
You know, that also doesn't help that during Classic, during Crusade, I basically lost my life to the games.
When you say classic, do you mean OG or do you mean classic?
OG.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
05 World of Warcraft.
You only lost your life to it in TBC? You casual.
Yeah,
No.
casual. I mean, I didn't get my life back until
What are you
Panda.
talking about?
I didn't get my life back till Shadowlands.
World of Warcraft,
It was about Pandaria
Launched
that I
in-
switched
in
from...
05.
It was about Pandaria that I switched to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm not entirely sure when Chris originally bought Final Fantasy XIV for me, but he paid for me to play Final Fantasy XIV for like 6 years.
Awesome.
He also bought and paid for several other video games I wanted to play because Chris really always wanted someone to play with, and he wanted someone who would go, you need to heal in this game, and I go, okay.
And that's how I got MW2 from this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. The Star Wars MMO. Let's say
Which
that's the Old
one?
Republic, but I think that's the
The
wrong name.
Star Wars Galaxies?
No, the other...
Star Wars The Other Republic?
The SOE one?
The Old Republic.
No.
Oh.
He bought and paid for that one for me, too. Because he wanted someone to heal. That game was so much fun. But then it went free to play, and the pay to play model sucked.
Yeah,
I think
that's the
its
problem
first
with
mistake is
MMO.
when... Thing is, that game actually used to be difficult to quest in, which I liked. There was challenge to it. And then they pulled the kata.
Honestly,
they nerfed
it was
every
never
open
difficult.
world mod.
It was never that difficult for me, but I usually had a DPS that was willing to do anything I wanted him to, and I played healer. And
Well, I'm talking
the
solo
healer version that
questing.
I had. The healer version I had came with a tank minion, and as long as I was careful, I could do anything I wanted.
I'm talking about solo questing. Like, solo questing in SWTOR when it launched was difficult. Mobs were difficult. You pulled a whole group.
And you died, yeah.
You could easily die. You had to
Yep,
be
you
careful
died.
whenever you did group pulls.
Oh.
And you had to be ready to pop in every ability you had to stay alive. Then they catted it. I don't even know what specific update did it, but at some point, within like the first 2 years of the game, they were like, Oh. Well, let's make everything in the world so butt-blastingly easy that the only way you would ever fucking die is if you walked away from your keyboard for like an hour and leaving your character in the middle of an even leveled, like, the same level as your character or above zone for enemies. That's the only way you were gonna fucking die.
That game maintains my favorite memory of it being in a dungeon with a friend of mine ever. His name is Fluffy, because I'm not gonna say his actual name because I almost said his actual name.
No doxing.
You and I had played WoW together for years, and he was good at the get out of the bad circle. So there's a boss in that, and it's got purple bubbles that it puts on the floor. I don't remember the name of the boss. I just remember that it had purple bubbles. And I remember that it had purple bubbles because as the Sith healer, I had purple bubbles. And they were a shield heal kind of deal. So every time I put these purple bubbles on the floor, on the tank, who was my friend, he would run for the hills like his ass was on fire. And then he would yell at me for not healing him. Because he was running out of my heal, like his ass was on fire. And it took me a couple of seconds to realize what was going on, because the game design was not great. Boss and healer looking the same, not a good thing.
No.
I laughed so hard when I realized what was going on.
That's hysterical, actually.
Talked to him in a while. I wonder how he's doing.
Who?
The tank.
Oh, okay. Fluffy.
Fluffy. I mean, knowing him, he's probably fine, but I should text him and see how he's doing.
It's the time of the year we reconnect with old friends and be thankful for these relationships you have, you know. 'Tis the Christmas season.
I'll do that later. I think he still works nights, so he's probably asleep right now. I'm almost done collecting my Christmas presents.
I'm gonna do that today, actually. A little bit.
Oh, you can do it daily.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. You're talking about New World.
Yeah, I'm talking about our New World Christmas
Okay.
presents.
Yeah.
What is the name of their event? Winter or something?
Winterfest? Something like that.
I'm just transporting to every city and running to the tree and picking up a present. Partially because once I hit 60, it started giving me something called diamond gypsum, and it gives me 6 per day. And those turn into 2 gypsum orbs, which I can use to upgrade my skills.
Nice. Wait, what level are you now?
60.
You hit max. I'm still level 48. Have you maxed out all your crafting and gathering yet?
My gathering, 2 of my gathering skills are maxed. One of them is really close. Lugging is fallen behind. Mostly because you get so little lugging experience for everything you do. It's ridiculous.
Have you found wormwood?
Wormwood?
Yeah, it's a type of tree. It looks glowy, kind of like star.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of places where the big patches of it spawn. You can actually track it later on, which is useful.
Yep.
But my lumberjack is like 169. My skinning and picking flowers are both maxed. My mining is like 198. It occurs to me I could just open my trade skill window and look.
My tracking skill needs 161. That's the only one I have that's that high.
Mine is 200 with 2 prestiges. You keep getting experience, and it gives you loot for skinning crap.
Nice.
Every time I hear the word lumberjack, I immediately think of the lumberjack song.
I'm a lumberjack, and I'm
Get out.
okay. No, I don't know what lumberjack song you're talking about, really.
I wish I was a lady just like my dear mama. Talk about something that can't be made in this day and age.
Nope. Ah.
I can gather those red things you can see there, but you can't gather.
I cannot. No.
I think it's wire weave over there. Wire
I
fiber.
can now harvest the silkweed, but I can't harvest.
I like that the gatherable plants like that are so big that it's really hard to miss them. As long as you know what you're looking for, the hemp and silkweed and stuff like that are really easy to spot.
Oh yeah.
Winter Convergence. That's what it's named. It's the Winter Convergence. I still haven't killed the big Yeti world boss that spawns.
I don't know where that is.
It spawns in a bunch of different places, and people just every time it spawns, there'll be like a group of people that just goes from one to the next and kills them all. I can't be bothered.
Fair enough.
I got a bitter shadow pattern.
Come here, Highland Bison. And I've hit my maximum Azoth. Are you making a Street Fighter reference?
Yes. I love that movie. I don't care what anybody says.
The movie? Oh god.
Look, the only good part of that movie is Raul Julia's. That's it. And I love the movie for him. Just like I also like the Mario Brothers movie.
To each
Somehow I don't
their
think
own.
that arena is ever going to go through.
No, it's been going for over an hour and 21 minutes on this run alone, and I was on it for a half hour with Bad Gamer, and I was on for over 20 minutes the first time I queued up. So collectively, I've been waiting in queue for 3v3 for almost 3 hours. 2.5 hours, easy.
I think it's probably a time of day issue.
Maybe that is so few people are queuing up for it, and it's that unpopular.
I went to Everfall and my frame rate didn't stutter, so I know there's not a lot of people online. Sometimes my game just straight up crashes when I try to go to Everfall because there's too many people.
Mine nearly crashes every time I go there too. It's the most popular town, it seems.
Yes, which
Like-
is
So it's Iron Forge.
Not as grandiose or cool, but yes.
it's because the people who are in charge of that town are on top of keeping their crafting tables maxed. There's actually quite a few people in not Brightwood. I think it's Brightwood as well.
Shit. What did I get with the tennis?
I would love to move my like stuff to the Restless Shore, but the city is so poorly laid out, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Best pickup line in Tennessee. Are you a 10? Because you're the only 10 I see.
Get out.
Ooh.
Thing is, pickup lines only work if you're naturally like already like an 8 out of 10 of a person.
Yeah.
So, but at that point, it's not because of the pickup line. It's literally just that is the cheesiest way to do the introduction.
I got a worse one if you want to hear it.
Is it one of the Robin Williams ones?
I don't know.
Are you retarded? Because you certainly are something special.
Yeah. Oh, mine is I may be hung like a tic tac, but at least your breath will be fresh in the morning.
That's not even a pickup line.
Don't care.
And if that works on
better
somebody, run away from them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, if that works, there's further issues going on there.
Oh yeah. I would use that to gauge if someone is psycho. If they're like, oh yeah, let's totally do it. It's like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm running. Goodbye. That should not have worked.
My favorite one is hey baby, do you like wave machines? And if they say yes, like, all right, then just slap the fat and ride the wave. Sorry.
Remind me never to bring you to a pub.
Oh no, dude. If I'm going to a bar, I'm going there to drink and socialize with my friends, not try to pick up anybody. I'm sorry, I didn't know. And considering I don't drink, I never go to a bar.
I drink.
Unless it's to get my brother.
I'm also of the does not drink persuasion, and I occasionally go to a bar because I have friends who are like, hey, come down to the bar, we'll buy you appetizers.
Now that is a true friend.
Me,
Well,
I
they
do
also
more
want a
drinking.
designated driver.
I do more drinking at the house than I do at a pub or a bar.
Oh yeah, I prefer to drink in my house.
The place that I go to has free soft drinks for designated drivers, and my friends will buy me desserts and snacks as long as I hang out till the 8 of the night. So when they know that they're going to not be safe driving, they go, hey, why don't you come down and visit? We'll hang out while we're sober, and then you can make sure that we all get home safe. Which is fine by me. I'd rather they get home safe than they all die in car accidents.
Oh yeah, that's why when my friends invite me to a bar, I'm usually the designated drivers.
It works out well
They-
because I don't drink.
I don't
I
go.
really
I
don't
don't have
like
friends who.
alcohol.
I don't have IRL friends who go to the bars or invite me to go to the bars.
Well,
It's because you don't
If
have
you-
friends.
if you
I
lived
really
in
don't, no.
California, I would go to a bar as long as you're buying me appetizers. I mean, I'm a cheap date. I don't drink. All you have to do is buy me
So,
onion rings.
I
Yeah.
prefer to drink at my house. Even then, it's just. Lately, I've been really enjoying Dr. McGillicuddy's Menthol Mint. I enjoy that. I don't drink a lot of hard alcohol anymore. Not since I got really, really sick. If somebody in the military invites you to drink at a house party and you try to keep up with them,
Don't.
you will either A, have your stomach pump, or B, become a pizza fountain.
If someone invites you to a house party and trying to keep up, don't. Just
Yeah,
don't.
well, I was 22 and stupid.
My brother was about that age when I learned that lesson from him.
And the reason I can't drink Guinness anymore.
My brother got wasted on peach schnapps, I think it was. You could reliably make him flinch by showing him the bottle.
Of peach schnapps?
It was peach something.
He's a bit of a lightweight, isn't he?
Apparently, they consumed like 4 bottles of it between 2 people. So
Oh, okay. Well, then, if you consume 3 bottles, even the like light alcohol,
maybe it was peach vodka.
I can believe
I
getting totally smashed on vodka. But
Especially
peach
if you put it through a
schnapps,
Brita filter.
but schnapps ain't that strong. He said,
It depends on the schnapps, but it can be.
I've never had schnapps that strong.
Well, then you need have Karn send you a bottle, 2 or 3.
Hey, I won't say no to free booze.
Don't tell me that because you will get a care package of just the weirdest booze I could find.
I found the bottle. It was Smirnoff peach vodka.
Ah, okay, so it's vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, vodka.
Apparently, they consumed
not
2
your
of those between 4 of those between 2 people. So 2 bottles each. I'm surprised they're not both dead.
Well, they
But yeah,
probably threw it up. That saved their life.
He was very sick the next day.
I bet.
I laughed at him. I'm not very friendly with my older brother. You hadn't guessed.
Yeah, I'm not either with mine.
So Asmo, where are you?
Outside Corinth, capital. Closer to the Citadel Windsword. Grinding.
Damn it, it's only noon and I've only done 400 miles. God damn it.
Only.
Yeah.
I wish this game had a mini map. It would make stalking you easier.
You're talking about a guy, if he was allowed to, could probably do the drive from Maine to the tip of Florida in a solid. Just go. No stopping except for fuel and to eat something.
Driving is boring. Partially because I have to drive in the Bay Area, so it's like move 5 feet, stop, move 5 feet, stop, move 5 feet, stop.
I hate California. Entire roadway systems. I'm stuck at the double nickel while everybody else could do 95 to $1.20. That's safe.
Actually, I assume you're like a truck driver or something, where you're
Yes.
Yep.
limited on where you can. In California, if you are going 55 and the traffic around you is going 95, you can be pulled over. If
Semis are legally registered and cannot 55
in my
as
car,
per California law.
In my car, if I were to be on the highway going 65 when the rest of the traffic is flowing at between 80 and 95, I could be pulled over for impeding traffic. This rule does not carry in the right lane. However, you can go as slow as you want, essentially in the right lane. But I hate when people going the speed limit get into the crime lane, i.e. the left lane, and then they're going the speed limit. Dude, that lane is for crime. I want to be going 110 down 80 in that lane.
The left lane is for people who have ticket money.
No, because okay, let's put it this way. I was going 100 miles an hour, and the cop pulled past me and didn't do anything to me.
I hate California.
I also have the and I know that this is a superpower. I'm a white woman. I'm less likely to be pulled over for anything. Making money selling water again.
Yep.
That's so ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, you get like 12 of them a pop if you just go to a river. Spend maybe 20 minutes there, and you'll be fine. But no, some people are fucking lazy. See,
Well,
it's
some
one of the
people
easiest
also value
things to
their time.
grind. All it requires is the most modicum amount of patience.
I like to chop down all the trees in the forest and then go sell them on the market board.
I mean, I just sold a shit ton of hemp for like 1,000 gold.
Yep.
And earlier, Bad Gamer and I were talking about how much money we had. I had, at that time we were talking, I had 9,000 gold. And he's like, oh, I have 6 million.
Yeah, he also has other characters.
No. It turns out he was full of shit. Because he's like, oh, wait a minute. I mistook that that period for a comma. I only have 6,000.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I've spent more money than that on repairs so far.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, you need to repair your harvesting cycle.
Microtransactions in the game?
Only for cosmetics.
Okay. Oh.
Let me double check that. Company crest, emote, what are the consumables? The consumables are dyes, weapon skin, housing items. So nothing that has an in-game effect other than cosmetically.
Yeah.
So it's less pay to win than WoW is.
Come on, you can't buy that much in WoW. Just remember that you can buy a max level character.
Sorry,
Or you can actually buy gold now.
Well, you can't buy a max level character, but you can buy a character that's 10 levels short of max.
Yeah.
Technically, you can do that in Final Fantasy as well.
Yes, you can.
It's just really inconvenient, honestly. Partially because their website is so terribly laid out. I mean, I love Final Fantasy with all of my heart, but their website needs to move out of the, 2010s.
Cast iron bench. Let's go. Climb.
Take me home, country road, to the place I belong. West Virginia, country mama.
Your entire stream just got copyright strike.
I mean, these days you don't even need to sing a song well for the bot to try and take you down.
Yeah. I do have to say, though, that, yeah, it's a good John Denver song, but the only good thing to come out of Fallout 76 is the re-rendition of that song.
I liked the version in, it's a movie?
Oh, got the Kingsman or something?
That
the
one,
second Kingsman movie? Yeah.
Yeah, the Golden Circle or whatever it was.
Hmm?
Yeah, with Mark Strong singing it, as he's on a landmine.
Oh.
Spoiler. Now, see, if Mark Strong was playing Captain Titus, he would have survived that landmine.
I mean, you don't actually see his corpse, so there's nothing to say he can't be brought back.
Yeah, bouncing betties don't work that way.
remember the guy got shot in the head in the previous movie and was back in this one or the next one. So I suspend disbelief. There's nothing to say he can't be back. Partially because I just really like Mark Strong.
Everybody does. It's Mark Strong.
Yeah, you can't kill Mark Strong. And I've also understand why Sean, the fuck is his name? Sean Bean? Yeah, Sean Bean dies in every movie. It's because earlier in his career he played a legendary literary figure called Sharp, and Sharp never died. So that's why in every movie he's in, he has to make up for the fact that Sharp never died. So he has to die in everything he's in. Yeah, it's Sean Bean because it's Seanbean. His name should rhyme, but it doesn't.
That is one of the oddities of... I just heard something that means I have to go check on a cat. I will be right back.
Okie dokie.
What the fuck did you do?
Just doing cat things, Ma. Don't worry about it.
Cats. They test the patience of even the most forgiving of souls.
Well, especially mine when I was trying to get into the truck one day, and the truck was airing up. So as he's in my arms trying to get him into the truck, the overpressure thing goes, psst, and he freaks out. Claws come out, claws my face, and I'm just bleeding for like a day and a half.
Yep. That'd be cats.
I miss my little shithead, but he had to go back.
I apologize, I'm back.
Welcome back.
There are certain cats that will take the truck life. He will.
They knocked
Especially
over the
after
recycling bin. And I'm sure it's my fault for putting something that they wanted in the recycling bin, but God knows what they wanted out of the plastic food packaging that I put in there.
Does it smell like meat?
No. Honestly, Novi was probably after the plastic packaging because he likes to chase it around on the floor and then try and eat it, but he will then give himself a blockage and die, and I don't want him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dude running into a tree. Okay.
All right. So I was successfully able to get weaving and harvesting above 100.
Yay!
Nice.
All of my crafting is below 100, though, currently.
How are you doing on bags?
I have 3 of them. My total weight for my on-character inventory is 940.9.
Not bad. Mine's like 1100, so not too much higher.
Did you take all 3 ranks of the strong back perk? What?
No, every time you get a better backpack for some reason, you can carry more stuff. I'm trying to get my weaving up to the point that I can make the next tier of them. I'm only off by like push all the buttons until I find the one I want. Let's see. Weaving. It's armor smithing. I'm only off by 8. And then 1,500 gold per bag in just crafting materials.
Okay.
Which is why those bags are so expensive. They're just ridiculous on the crafting materials. Tiny demons. Buy a bunch of that stupid wire weave.
Yeah.
No one asked you, Cat.
Well, the cat felt like he needed to comment.
It's the stuff that you need to upgrade fabric to the next tier up.
I know. I'm aware.
I go through so much of it. It's not too bad.
So do I.
It's only like 2 cents per unit. It's not too awful. Meow.
Give me your hide, wolf.
Does this game have the same problem as World of Warcraft, where there were animals without like livers and buttholes and shit like that?
No, it seems to be pretty much if you need a particular item for a quest, it will always drop that item within 1 or 2. It's not the Murlocs don't have spines problem.
Which was kind of funny. Because I always
when it
had
was Murlocs didn't have heads.
Yeah, I always had this joke that is like when you killed them, their spine popped out of their back like a fucking rocket, and you couldn't retrieve it.
Mutter, grumble, mutter, grumble, mutter, grumble.
It was always fun.
Was probably a dumb idea, but okay. I'm just going to buy a bunch of silk. I would have more money if I didn't constantly go like, you know what, screw it, I could go gather it, but I don't feel like it.
Yeah, that's probably why so many crafters and gatherers make money in this game, because there are a lot of players who have that same reaction. I could go get it, but fuck that.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm on both sides of the thing. I'll go gather, but then I'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm done. I've gathered all of this one side of the thing. I'm gonna go just buy the rest of the stuff I need. I looked into doing that for the 600 gear score weapons you can buy the recipes for from the Yeti for the winter event, and holy god, the high-end crafting materials are expensive.
Yep. Because they're hard to get.
I'm just gonna make 32 pairs of gloves.
32 pairs?
Yeah, 32 pairs of gloves. And then I'm just gonna salvage them all because they're really worth anything. Actually, that kind of worked. Yeah. Five, so 3 more levels. It's actually not too cost inefficient. If you can go into your other people's houses, houses of people you know.
Wait, what?
I wonder if you can go into houses of people you know, like find where their house is and then just like stalk them.
I don't know.
I got a pair of purple gloves for making 65 pairs of gloves. Ah, 150! I can now make bags.
Wait, what?
I got to 150 armor smithing, so I can now make bags. The next tier of bags.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I wish that there was a way to transfer the look from a regular item onto the gear you want to wear. But there is not. It's fuse leather. 300. Absolutely. That is all of my faction tokens. Watch them all have additional ammo on them.
Hunt one Hari. What the fuck is a Hari?
I don't know.
Nazir Dua.
But you know who does know?
Who?
Google. Google knows everything.
Of course.
Okay, apparently it's a named mob. Like, it's just a named mob. Where is it located? Oh, it's a Yeti. It's a named Yeti, so.
Oh. Okie dokie. Alright, I'm probably gonna have to hop off because I gotta get ready.
Where are you off to?
I gotta go. I'm gonna see my grandparents today. That's why I took the day off.
Grandparents are cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
I love my grandparents. It's sometimes rough to see him because my grandpa's in his 90s and he's not all there anymore. But yeah.
Yep. I'm familiar with that problem. Hopefully things go well.
Yeah, at least my Nana's still more or less all. She was always crazy, but at least she got a good memory.
At least she's the right kind of crazy.
She to give you an idea about my Nana, she as long as I can remember, she's always been like obsessed with cleanliness and like things being neat and tidy. Like growing up, for example, she had a plastic see-through covering on her couch, and she put absolutely all of her collectibles in plastic bags. Like large, giant Ziploc bags. We used to joke that if her house was ever nuked, and in like 2,000 years, when they were digging through the ruins, all of her stuff would be pristinely preserved. Yeah, she doesn't do that as much anymore, and now she's too old to keep up with it as much. But she's always been quirky.
As of game, that's okay. But yeah, quirky's fun. I'd rather have quirky than the kind of weirdly crazy that some people can be.
Yeah, I gotta get ready to go. So, have a good one, everybody.
Bye.